My biggest advice is for everybody after 50 is if they want to do another career, if you want to proceed, and I really advise to do, try to do something that gives you location independency. Means in most of the cases, not 100%, but most of the cases, that means do your business online, do your tasks online, because that gives you freedom. And then you can freely decide where to go and where to live and where to work. Normally, this is why I advise to everybody. Of course, we need those things, but I will never advise anyone to open a coffee shop, for example. No, because it's a location-dependent business. My advice is to try to have a location-independent business.
So it's consulting or coaching, or if you're managing, you able to manage your company by online. It's not so many professional opportunities like direction, all skills you can do online.
For example, my engineering business on energy efficiency, the company is Spanish. My team of engineers is in Spain, in Alicante, and I deal with most of my clients. I deal online now. It's everything changed, deal online. And with the help of internet and smartphones and so on, I don't go to the site to see it. Normally, it's done completely remote. And I'm here in Portugal, but I could be in Spain, I could be in France, I could be in Cyprus, could be Morocco, wherever.
Welcome to the Age of Reinvention. Redefine freedom, lifestyle, and purpose at midlife. The podcast that shares the stories and advice from remarkable individuals who have transformed their careers and lives. I am your host, Emily Bron, and today we have a truly inspiring guest from Portugal. Antonio Roque is a relocation consultant and business coach with a wealth of experience in various industries, including energy efficiency, Internet of Things, and smart homes. Antonio is also an entrepreneur, teacher, speaker, and coach. He has reinvented himself professionally many times. One of his latest reinventions is helping professionals and entrepreneurs relocate to Portugal. Whether you are at career crossroads, planning to relocate, or seeking new opportunities in life, you are for the treat. Join us as we explore Antonio's journey and insights. Hello, Antonio. Nice to see you in my studio today.
Hello, Emily. Very grateful to be here.
I was looking forward because I have been working actually in similar directions, speaking about relocation, and your multi-layered experience and perspective, it's very valuable. Antonio, your career has spanned various sectors, including energy efficiency and construction of smart homes. How did this diverse experience guide you to your current relocation consultant and business coach roles? And at what age and stage of your life latest professional changes occur?
It's a bit long story, but everything starts with a point. And for me, starting with this consultancy on relocation and also studying to become a business coach, it all starts in 2020. 2020, it was supposed to be the year of plenty, but it was the year of COVID. And I don't know elsewhere in the world, but at least in Portugal, at the 15th of March 2020, it was a lockdown. Everything closes. And the business I have, it was based on meetings. So I decided to make a change in my life. So I started my journey in personal development with coaches in the area of business. All of those programs work with coaches from the US. And as those kind of programs, there's a theoretical part, and also they include a community where people get together. Normally, those communities are Facebook groups. And most of the people were from the US, a few from Canada, others from UK. But I noticed when the people started noticing there was Antonio Roque was there, they noticed that I was from Portugal. They start asking me questions about how is Portugal? How is Lisbon different than Porto? How is the north different from the south? How is Portugal mainland different from Madeira? Or Madeira and mainland are different from the Azores? And in time, it develops a side business. It's what I do since then. So I help people to move, especially from North America and Canada, to move to Portugal. I have a partnership with a group of lawyers who help me with the taxes, and a partnership with another group of lawyers, specialists on the visas. I also developed myself as a real estate broker. So I got, we call it in Portugal, EMI number. So it's a reference number. So I make partnerships with all the real estate companies here in a way to speed the process to find the right place for my clients to rent and then to buy if they wish to. So this is what I do as a realty lounge, which is the name of the business I have.
So comprehensive answers. You already answered 3 of my future questions. But it's great. What motivates you to do something new? When many people spend the same time during the COVID watching movies or doing some other stuff, what motivates you to do something new when many people spend years on the same workplace or developing career in the same field?
It depends on me. I always believe that I'm here to learn and I'm here to grow. So it's one of the things I always impose on myself. It came from my father is never stick to where you are. Stay away from your comfort zone. And because in your comfort zone, you never grow. So that's why I'm always looking for new opportunities and new ways to help people to do what they want to do. And so the world now is packed with opportunities. It's an amazing thing. And I have an entrepreneurial mindset. So I have like growth mindset.
I know, and I understand that change drastically your direction after 50, it's very hard, but people with entrepreneurial spirit, or even they don't understand about spirit, but people who would like to learn, to grow, have curiosity to what's going on in the world. I also distinguish now the people, even by speaking of different mindset, and I believe the mindset is actually evolving. It's what makes us active and live longer. By the way, why you decided to specialize on helping to relocate or become relocation consultant for entrepreneurs and professionals?
I can say that I came from marketing because you need to speak with a group of people, because if you speak to everybody, you help anyone. So you need to speak to a certain group of people, and especially the people who were asking me for help in the beginning, they're all entrepreneurs. They're all people who are in those programs learning how to become a coach. And I understand from all of them, because most of them don't want to stay where they are, because coaching, you just need a smartphone and internet and to be online, and you can do those kind of things. There are so many people who I'm speaking now to and helping them. They are people absolutely retired, but there are others who come to work with no matter how age they are. They work remotely, and this is a powerful tool. The same way we are speaking now, you are in Canada, I'm in Portugal, so people can do this from wherever in the world they are.
Absolutely agree. And as far as I see, the Portugal soon will be full of entrepreneurs and coaches of different age and professional directions, because many of who I know, they are in Portugal. Being a digital nomad, it's different group, but speaking about more mature people, how do you see from your perspective, Portugal using this opportunity grew a lot as a country, as economical stage, using people who arrived and complement the economy of the country? What is your opinion?
Oh, absolutely. Portugal, if there is a word I can say about Portugal, is a very easy country to live and to develop wherever people want to do. And because it's easy to drive, it's easy to move from one place to the other. The country is quite small. It's just the mainland. It's 800 kilometers per 250. So it's like a rectangle with two highways, one from between Lisbon and Porto and the other from south to north. And then another 6 highways from coast to Spain. So it's quite easy to move around. It's very safe, and internet and all the technology side is absolutely well developed. So it's a great place to live and to drive and to do wherever. And we are 1, 2, or 3 hours from wherever you can imagine in Europe. So it's by plane, it's quite easy.
Portuguese people lately, the approach to newcomers, because from what I read, and I fully understand that people in Portugal, Spain, other countries, like local people, are not always happy with newcomers because of cost of living is growing up, not enough properties, and because of purchase of the properties by foreigners, actually, as they perceive, increase cost of the properties because there's a lot of demand and not enough new construction to provide all our opportunities. So what about this balance?
All kind of foreigners are very welcome here, especially if they want to contribute and to make things done here. You are absolutely right with that, but that's mainly around Lisbon and Porto and the surrounding areas. Because if people move outside, and I'm helping people to move to different cities than Lisbon and Porto, it's very easy to find a place and much cheaper than, for example, Lisbon and Porto. It's the quality of life in those cities, not only in the interior, but also in the coast between Lisbon and Porto and south. It's quite amazing, and it's much lower cost. And finding an apartment or villa is much more easier, or to rent one. And so what I advise to everybody is that find a place where you have a nice community of people and the cost of living is lower and the quality is high. And that doesn't mean exactly Lisbon and Porto. The country is so easy to move by car or by transportation that no matter where you are, never more than 2 hours from Lisbon or Porto.
Yeah, I fully agree with you. And actually, what stops me a little bit, because I was considering Portugal for several years, it's Portuguese language, which is not the, like for me, Spanish is easier to learn. And in order to find community and actually feel good in a country, I believe you need to know language and even to find community. Even I know that in Portugal, many locals speak English, and there's enough people now from all over the world that you can speak English. Are you saying that the English-speaking expat communities you can find now, like in many small cities across the Silver Coast and other small areas?
Yeah, there's so many communities. And the Silver Coast is the area around a city called Caldas da Rainha. And that's 1 hour drive to Lisbon by highway. So it's so close. And yeah, there is so many communities. And I always tell people that it's advisable to start learning just a few words, and it grows with time. Because if you don't do that, most of your friends will speak with you in your own language. So it's just make an effort. It's not difficult at all. Everything is achievable. If we want, we can do it. And there's so many things they can do with learn by apps. There are communities of people who teach themselves. There are a lot of programs. Even the state have programs for helping people to learn the language and to develop that knowledge.
Yeah, so my next question actually about languages. You speak several languages: Portuguese, obviously, English, Spanish, French, and Italian. Where did you learn French and Italian, and what actually was the reason behind it?
Yeah, they're very different reasons, but both of them. French, I speak because it was when I was in school, in high school here, the main language was French. And so I learned French as my second language. And then the third language was English. Anyway, my aptitude to English was very high because it was the language I used for business. In the 90s, where I worked for multinationals and as my own business in the 21st century. And so French came from there. And one of the jobs I had, it's a company from the UK. It's a big manufacturer in the wire and cable industry. I always love Italian. And once the responsible for the company says, Antonio, we want you to make a stage it will be a couple of weeks and perhaps it will extend in Italy. We are going to give you some private classes of Italian. So I was 2 weeks with private classes. And in 2 weeks, if you want to, with private classes, you will learn a lot. And hopefully, I was into Italy. I went into Torino and then to Ascoli Piceno, it's close to Rome. And I had the chance to use it. You need to be there and start speaking, and then something will revive on you. Spanish and English is very different because almost every day I speak with partners because my energy efficiency company is Spanish. So I speak with them in Spanish. And all my relocation business is made in English. So I speak in English. So daily I use English and French. And that's what makes a language knowledge goes. Because if you only know by theory, you don't practice, you know about it. Real knowledge comes from action, comes from practice. And that's why I became so fluently in English. Spanish is almost as fluent as Portuguese. So this is why. But I love both Italian and French. Yeah, very nice languages. And I love to read in those languages and I love to speak also.
So, multilingual ability and actually global experiences are incredibly valuable assets. How and does it help you in both relocating consultancy and your business coaching?
One thing is to realize that although I always lived in Portugal, I've been in more than 50 countries, and different cultures requires a different way to think and act towards the persons from those cultures. And we are just a small part in a very big world. Although the world is getting smaller in a way due to technology, but the world is very diverse. And I love to learn more because it's doing business and talking with someone, for example, I had this experience from South Africa. It's very different than speaking with a person from Colombia. And from South Africa and Colombia is very different than to speak with someone from Japan, which I worked in a Japanese company before in the 90s. So it's a very different mindsets and very different ways of thinking. And all of that is my little treasure. It's something I carry with myself and helps me to make a better understanding and to provide a better service in everything I do.
Last time we were spoken, you mentioned that your wife is Argentinian. Where did you meet her?
Yeah, my wife has a double nationality, but she was born in Portugal. Her mother is from Buenos Aires. She is from Buenos Aires. We have a family there. I really love Buenos Aires and all the area around. I love the wines. It's one of the things I like more in life. I love wine tasting, and so it's Argentina is one of my favorite places in the world.
Tell me, please, if you had to relocate, imagine, to a new country yourself, what three key factors would you consider as the most important based on your experience, personal experience, business experience, and as a relocation consult? What do you think people should base their decision to relocate on?
For me, the first one, and it's quite easy to say because Portugal is one of the safest countries in the world. For the reason number one is safety. Everything comes after that. Number two is the quality of life and the cost of living. And the number three is the weather, because it's so important. People don't know only know when they miss it. So I'm very used to stay in a country with a lot of light, with sunlight. And for me, that's very important. Professionally, I visit many times Germany, Norway, Sweden, and it's very different. The mood and so on now, that's very well studied now. And people change when they have the sun all day around, when the sky is blue. So that's where you see. So for me, is this three: safety, easy living, and low cost of living, and the light. Also, if I may add a fourth factor for myself personally, is being close to the sea, because I always live close to the sea. And this is one of the things I like to do more is early mornings. It's part of my morning ritual. I love to do big walks or jogging on the beach with barefoot on the wet sand. Even in the winter with the cold water, you feel yourself refreshed. So you feel invigorated and it increases your vitality, and it happens to me, I'll be more ready for the day to come. So it's one of the things I love to do.
Safety, it's generally super important, but in big countries, there are the different areas. Would you relocate, for example, to Buenos Aires that you mentioned? How all these three, four factors coming together for this place?
To Argentina, yes, but to Buenos Aires, no. Because it's in the city center, and that's a place I know quite well. It's too much people, too much traffic, and it's one of the countries that you need to know where you are. At least here in Portugal, you can be wherever, and there's no problem for you. But there you need to take good care of yourself. But although this is not close by the sea, I love a city called Mendoza, And yeah, I will not mind to live a few years in Mendoza. There's plenty of wines. It's close to the Andes. It's very safe, very quiet, and it's a big city. It's a city around 2 million inhabitants, but it's a beautiful surroundings, and you can do big hikes in the mountain, and it's quite nice. Yeah, Buenos Aires for me personally, it's too urban. I would love to be there for a week or two, but to live, for example, a complete year, no, it's not my style. It's a wonderful city, and I have family there. So it's yes now, but it's not my favorite place there. I would love to live in Mendoza or in the northern area of Buenos Aires, in an area called El Tigre. It's close to the river. Rio de la Plata is one of the affluents, and that's wonderful. But it's not in the city center because the city is too massive for me.
How do you think midlife professionals can leverage their skills and experiences when they considering relocation abroad? Or maybe how they should think about it and select country based on their professional and personal experience?
Yeah, it depends on what you really want to do, because after 50 you are in a position that probably you have your savings, and you need to ask yourself, what are you going to do in the next few years? But until some years ago, people were supposed to work until 60s and then to live until 70 something, but that's not anymore the case. After 50, you can think to yourself that you are going to live more 30 or 40 years or even more. And so need to think what will be your next moves, because your children are already working, and what you want to do for yourself. And my biggest advice is try to do one thing is, if you want to move to another country, it's a great opportunity to move to another country where the cost of living is much lower. So we need to be active, because active is making not only body, but also the mind. And there's nothing that makes you more active than see that you are helping others and you are creating something. So keep your mind active. And now with the use of internet, it's so easy. Just see something that you are good at, you want to do, something that you can call it your passion, and go for it. Try to see if you can develop into a mission and just establish a goal or a dream, and then make some goals and make some tasks and do it. Because no matter the age, there's so many things that everybody can do.
Absolutely agree. And I know that you're working last years in the direction of business coach, and I'm trying to understand in what exactly direction, because what exactly you're offering for your clients, students. What are the most common challenges faced by the entrepreneurs you mentor? What you are working on with them?
Yes, Emily, I'm going to start. I just finished in the end of last year. I finished the base of my own program and already branded and give it a name. And the goal, it will be to help people who are entrepreneurs to become business owners, and while working on their 9 to 5 job. And that means moving online. So this is the thing I would like to help people to do that and make them feel that's possible while they have a 9 to 5 job. That's very possible nowadays, because with internet, with social media, and with AI, the opportunities are out there, and it's for everybody to try. Anyway, they need to be entrepreneurs, and I'm helping them to align all of their ideas in a way that they can succeed. So this is my coaching. The basic of the coaching will be that.
Not all people were born entrepreneurs. And actually, when you're working 9 to 5, people should have or maybe develop special skills, think differently, act differently. It's what you're speaking about as a mentor.
In a way that I absolutely agree. Not everybody is an entrepreneur, but many people are entrepreneurs, but they don't want to create a business because they don't want to depend only on their single source of income. So they want to create another source of income, and they have the dream to create something online.
Absolutely. And it's my next question. Personal change, professional change often involves managing risk and uncertainty. And especially we are living now in a time of big uncertainty, yes? And economical, political, personal. What strategies do you recommend for people for dealing with these challenges during such transitions from this like 9 to 5 to the entrepreneurship, to relocate? How you deal with managing risk and uncertainty?
For me, it's two different steps, but you need to make sure that first to relocate, if you want to go to the place you I imagine to go. So just go there, stay there. It's all our always advice, stay there, rent a house, stay there for a few months, 2, 3, 4, 6 months, stay there first, and then decide if this is the right place for you. Because possibly it could not be, or you need to change to another place, another city, more close to the sea, more close to the mountains, and so on. But if you want to, when you work on the 9 to 5 job, and you want to create a business, you need to make sure that your why is very strong. And so it's in what I helping people to do with the coaching is really to helping them to align their principles and values with the purpose, to see what passions they really can monetize, and then align with goals. And then you need to invest your money in something that make that money work for you. It's very important that you stay with your 9 to 5 job because you have bills to pay. So I always advise people to stay in their own job.
But if people lost their job, okay, if people are not working and many people now fired, things are changing, businesses are closing or workplaces, what to do in this case?
In this case, is trying to find another job or trying to start a business. But my best option is if you're losing your job and if you have the idea to launch your business, do it immediately. Don't wait so long for that. You need to know when you lose a job, need to know exactly if you want to create a business or if you want to look for another job.
Yes, like ideally, obviously, it's better to do when you still have income coming. But business development, especially when you're new in the business first, might take up to 5, even more years. And if you are not working, like you need to have funds to subsidize your personal business development and family and home, probably you are owning or whatever your day-to-day purchases. So I understand it's a sweet spot to start when you're still working. It's actually what I did, but I see how all changing. And what do you think? Like from every specialty and professional direction, people can make business or being in every profession?
Yeah, almost. You can be an entrepreneur in almost everything. The most important thing is that need to be part of your passion, need to be part of you. So you need to love what you do, and to make certain that you can succeed, you need to make sure that there is people who want what you have to offer. You will do. Learn marketing because marketing teaches you to be wise and to move in this, to make very good decisions on that. And so it's just need to make sure that you can reach the people and that people want to buy what you have to offer. And the more people you can help, the more you earn.
Look, there are so many changes lately, even in marketing. Marketing is changing quicker than anything else. Even professional marketers confirm it. And whatever was working for one business a year ago will not work even for the same business later because people are changing social media platforms, trends are changing. From your experience, what role do networking and community play in successfully reinventing oneself in midlife?
I think that's very important because all my life I was a networker and a connector because that's so important. And when doing business, there is nothing more powerful that someone that knows you, likes you and trusts you come to you and asking for you to help them or to supply them with some service you have or some product you have or some, even in the coaching or some transformation you can do in their lives. And so networking is absolutely important because it doesn't matter that everybody is going online because you can reach even more people online. But it's always people who know and trust you can refer you and can introduce you to other persons. So that's why I say networking is so important, but using the tools like everything, like only can speed up the process and you have more chances to succeed on that. The networking we do now, it's very different from the traditional networking from the 20th century, but it's still networking.
Absolutely. Balancing all your professional and business directions in several roles requires excellent organization and adaptability. How do you manage your time and maintain effectiveness across these different responsibilities?
Yes, one of the first things I made a long time ago was to know myself and where am I more productive. I like to wake up early and I have a morning routine quite early. And then I work from 8:30 to 12:30. So in a row, and this is where I'm more productive. So everything important, normally I put in those morning hours. But I've seen people that they are more productive after 6 o'clock in the afternoon. Others, they are productive after lunch. We're all different. And so all the important tasks, I do it in the morning. And then in the afternoon is other type of tasks, some meetings and so on. So that's what I do daily. And one of the things I do very important is before I go to bed, I know exactly what I do in the 4 hours, the first 4 hours of productive on the day ahead. So this is daily planning. And I try to integrate this daily planning in my weekly planning. And I try to integrate this weekly planning in the monthly planning and then in the annual planning. It's the best way to reach your goals.
So, what tool are you using? Sorry, for planning. Are you using some tool for planning, some app?
No. I have one of the coaches. They teach me this. So I use some. There are agendas who teach you on this, but I have my own thing, and it's a part of the things I'm going to teach. Also, I'm teaching in my coaching is this because productivity is a key thing. Because after 90 days or 100 days, you will be another habit. And when it's a habit, you refuse not to do it. It's part of you. The most important thing is to make sure that you win the hours of the day. So this is for me doing these more important tasks in the morning, and I will only have 4 tasks, 50 minutes for each task. 4 main tasks is what I do. But in the morning, I don't listen to television. I don't have my phones. Everything is canceled. I just work for myself on those. Everything else, I will reply after lunch. Every day, I will do it after. So it's a kind of productivity. One thing I learned really from a long time ago is that we don't manage time. We only manage what we do in a certain amount of time because time is always what it is.
Many midlife professionals find themselves now at a crossroads, as far as I know, looking to redefine their careers and lives. What initial steps would you recommend they take to start this journey of reinvention and transformations?
My biggest advice is for everybody after 50 is if they want to do another career, if you want to proceed, and I really advise to do, try to do something that gives you location independency. Means in most of the cases, not 100%, but most of the cases, that means do your business online, do your tasks online, because that gives you freedom. And then you can freely decide where to go and where to live and where to work. Normally, this is why I advise to everybody. Of course, we need those things, but I will never advise anyone to open a coffee shop, for example. No, because it's a location-dependent business. My advice is to try to have a location-independent business.
Let's speak openly. Location independent work. So it's consulting or coaching, or if you able to manage your company by online. It's not so many professional opportunities like direction, all skills you can do online.
Yeah, I can do an example. It's, for example, my engineering business on energy efficiency. The company is Spanish. My team of engineers is in Spain, in Alicante. And I deal with most of my clients, I deal online now. Everything changed, deal online. And with the help of internet and smartphones and so on, I don't go to the site to see it. Normally, it's done completely remote. And I'm here in Portugal, but I could be in Spain, I could be in France, I could be in Cyprus, I could be in Morocco, wherever, because it's engineering business. It means that you need to know exactly what you want to develop and make sure that the business Could be physical, in a physical place, but you don't need to be there. Never to work in the business, because when you are running a business, you need to work on the business to grow. And if those little things that every business need to be done, try to delegate, because if that's the only way to free your time. I didn't say that before, but it's very important. Learn how to delegate. It's a must. Because if you, no matter how easy and small the business is, if you do everything, it will be much, much difficult for you to succeed. You need to know exactly what you are going to do, what you want, and delegate as much as you can. Because if you start delegating, it's because you understand the business, and the key things is the ones you do, is the ones who make your business grow.
And what you would recommend for professionals above 50 who are planning to relocate, and other than to develop online business? What else? What steps to make towards your new destination?
Yeah, it's have a close understanding about your finances. And if you want to leave the place where you are now, think about the places where you have been before. Don't say, oh, I want to go to Spain because some friends went there and they say that's wonderful. No, take some time for yourself and your family and go there. Stay there for 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks and to see if you like it or not. Or come to Portugal to see if you like it or not. Or to Greece or somewhere, or to Costa Rica or to Panama and see if you fit. And if it, do your job, and especially go to your memories from when you have 30s and 20s and so on, and you travel, you say, oh, I was very happy there. That place was fantastic. I love that place. And so go back there and to see if it's still what you remember. Perhaps it's even better, because the world changed in 20, 30 years. The world changed. Go there.
Thank you very much, Antonio. I really enjoyed our conversation as usual. And good luck to you with all your business directions, with coaching, relocation help, engineering, and whatever new you can come up in the future.
Thank you so much, Emily. It was all my pleasure to be here with you.
Thank you. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Age of Reinvention. It was an absolute pleasure to have Antonio Roque with us today, sharing his incredible journey and valuable advice for midlife professionals on the brink of personal change and reinvention. We hope you found inspiration in actionable insights to help you navigate your path. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, rate, and leave a review on your favorite podcast platform. And don't forget to share it with those who might benefit from Antonio's wisdom. For more updates and resources, follow us on Spotify, Age of Reinvention podcast. Until next time, keep embracing change and reinventing your life.